This week I'm taking a look at some recently released smaller AI image generation models which are ideal for lower-end GPUs. Lumina 2 is Gemma LLM powered and features some interesting split prompting. TinyBreaker, on the other hand, uses an SD1 powered refiner on top of a Pixart Sigma model with a unified workflow. And finally, Animagine XL4 is the latest in their series of anime art style models, fine-tuned from SDXL. All of these run great in ComfyUI, so let's just dive right in, starting with Lumina 2.0. They provide some example images for Lumina there with ultra realism. We've got some text creation, bilingual mastery, artistic versatility, logical reasoning, and unified multi-image generation. License-wise, this model looks to be truly free and open source thanks to the power of Apache 2.0. This generates images around 1024 by 1024 resolution, and yes, they don't have to be square. It uses Gemma 2 for the text encoder and the Flux 16-channel VAE. Lumina 2.0 is natively supported in ComfyUI, so you won't need any extra nodes when using this workflow from the ComfyUI examples page. It has a link direct to the checkpoint file you'll need to download to your Comfy's checkpoints directory, though it's also worth noting that whilst the single checkpoint file has everything you'll need in it, another option is to use these split files. Well, why would you want to do that? One reason could be because you want to do this here. Not only can you change the weight D type in this option for the load diffusers model to something like FP8, that's going to save you a bit of VRAM, but you can also offload the clip as well. Remember, you can right click and show advanced to get this device option. You can see in the notes there what my VRAM monitor showed in the various configurations, so this should work even on very low-end GPUs. I've added lots of notes and things to the example workflow, but it's essentially the same. Though to make things easier to read, I've split out the two parts of the prompt into their own boxes. Context prompt is at the top there. That's sort of a guide for the style for the Gemma LLM with the image prompt beneath it. The current context prompt is a little bit like a general example you can use for anything, whilst the image prompt here I've got is a rabbit which is painting a picture of another very different rabbit. It should all make more sense in a moment when I show you the example images, so don't worry if you don't get it yet. Of course, a negative prompt can be used as well. Over here I've got blurry, ugly and bad. For the K-sampler, the official way is to use Shift 6 and 36 steps, but you can use a lower shift value such as 3 and fewer steps, as well as a variety of samplers. I happen to like gradient estimation for most things at the moment, but that's just me. As for the generated image, well, let's take a look. There he is. That's not too bad. Certainly looks like a rabbit painting a picture of another rabbit to me. The generation speed here is fairly reasonable at around 1.3 iterations a second, so this image took me 27 seconds to generate. Now let's take a look at what changing that context does to the image. This time then I've simply got "you are a dark fantasy artist" and the image prompt is still the same. The result then is still a rabbit painting a picture of another rabbit, but with a sort of dark fantasy art style. In much the same vein here, I've got to turn the prompt into something which has a more cinematic film photo style. Can you guess what that's going to do? Yes, indeed, we get a picture of a more realistic looking rabbit painting a picture of another rabbit. As for the overall results I got for both styles and prompting, I found that the styles are probably a bit more varied than things like Flux, even though this is a much smaller 2B model. The image quality is okay, but things like realism and human skin, well, let's just take a look at what this prompt generates for a very angry looking woman. As you can see, I think you'll probably agree the hair looks okay, but the skin looks bad. You've got the usual sort of weird wobble in the eyes, and yes, it does also have issues with things like the number of fingers a hand should have. On the bright side, it has given her a sort of rodent-shaped birthmark on the cheek, so following the prompt, it has done very well. Checking more on the prompt following ability, how about if we try something rather difficult such as an elephant riding on a duck? Wow, that's not bad at all. I mean, obviously you've got these strange size discrepancy, but yes, that is definitely an elephant riding on a duck. As mentioned, some styles are better than others, like in this Renaissance art example. This is meant to be a painting, but to me that just looks nothing like a painting. Sorry. How about if you do weird things like contradict yourself? For example, here the context says you only draw using pencils, so everything is monochrome, but in the prompt I've asked for a blue hat. In this case, it looks like the prompt wins out over the context, and we have got the blue hat. Once again, it's followed the prompt incredibly well, so it's got the rat, the hamster, and the beaver all wearing their respective outfits. As for their unified multi-image generation example, well, I couldn't get it to do that. Here I copied what I thought would be the context, so the same thing as off their image, and obviously the same prompt over there. But when I did the generation for that, yes, that is nothing like their examples. Answers on a postcard. Also, for text generation, is it as good as they say? Well, here I want a weathered wooden sign which reads "Cats smell of milk." Yeah, well, I'll leave that up to you. Time to take a look at TinyBreaker now, another small one. If we scroll down, have a look at the required files there. TinyBreaker prototype is just 3 gig, although you will need a T5 file as well. As we know, we can offload those. There are some custom nodes provided as well to make life easier, though these may or may not be your cup of tea, as it isn't really the comfy way of doing things, so to speak. You can install them via Manager in the usual way and then open up the workflow provided. I've coloured things in here because I like colours, and essentially what they're doing is compacting all the usual things you do down into preset style nodes, along with a sort of SDXL style refiner. So there you see you've got the base custom sampler and then the refiner. Prompting looks a bit weird as it starts with a style selector here. You can see in style name, got all sorts of different things. So custom 1 and 2 refers to these custom styles over here, which you can just edit yourself. Everything is then sent through this gen params connector. And again, here I'm asking for a photo of a rabbit, painting a picture of a rabbit. The result in this case was super fast at around 2 iterations a second, so this image took just 7 seconds, much faster than Lumina 2.0. On top of that, this image is also larger at 1664 by 944. Quality-wise, you can see it's a bit rough around the edges, but that's actually what I like about the Pixart models. Following the prompt isn't as good as Lumina. As you can see, this is an elephant riding a duck. No, it really isn't. And as for text or anatomy, that's probably not its strong point either. On the flip side, as well as being very fast, it can do some of those more rough styles a bit better. Things like watercolors, for example, are a bit closer to actually having a watercolor style. Look, that bit there. Sure, the cockerel isn't so much, but these definitely better than the other models. Same goes for drawings, sketches, and things like that. So here is a sketch of a hamburger, which I think is quite sketchy. Also, when you ask for a painting style output, you tend to get, well, something like this, which is more of a painting style output. To me, it also has more varied monsters and aliens, plus the faces come without flux chin. That could be a winner for some all by itself. If anime is more your thing, then Animagine XL4 will be right up your street. As the name suggests, it's an SDXL based model, and they have both an optimized one and a base model as well. The optimized model is the one I'm going to be using with a bog standard text-to-image workflow, but it should be noted that prompting for this model isn't quite as freeform as the others, and instead you should follow this prompting guide. I've kind of vaguely followed it here because I have little to no idea about anime series, and I much prefer to create novel, weird stuff like this elephant riding a duck. So how well is it done there? Okay, well, it's a very good anime cartoony style image, but unfortunately the elephant is not riding the rather cute looking duck. Running the rabbit, painting a picture of another rabbit test again, and this time, well, with a slightly longer prompt, of course, it's not bad. As you can see, it's very anime, though perhaps a few too many rabbits. Where this model really shines though is with those anime characters and stuff like that. If you're up with the tags, then you'll probably be right at home. Even if you're not, then you should probably still get good enough results. So what does this prompt generate? One of those. Not bad at all. She's got the pink hair, she's got the armor, looks like she's in the cockpit of her spaceship. Really like the image. So if you're into this sort of style, then this is a very good model. And of course, being SDXL, you can use things like wave speed and perturbed attention guidance for all sorts of interesting details. So, with 3 new models to choose from for almost any size GPU, which one will you be trying first?
Ooh, nerdy rodent. He really makes my day. Showing us AI in a really British way.